Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation, and that is future data creation. Basically, that is this topic actually we are discussing, and this basically is the thing basically, and this is the incidence basically, which is going to happen basically by these energies basically. So next video basically, sorry, this video basically we are discussing basically, and lots of things basically we are discussing next video basically. So that is this thing basically we have discussed. So we will close this also basically we have discussed. But who is that person basically that we are going to discuss basically later on basically. So this also we are closing. This also basically we are closing because USA basically Supreme Court everything basically we have discussed basically. So this is closed. This is also closed basically because we have discussed lots of thing about this also basically. So this also basically connecting to one picture basically, that is movies basically. So Bollywood group basically say that basically हम तो सब track कर रहे हैं, you do whatever basically, but we have got the task of tracking each and everything basically. So they have tracked the thing basically. So this also basically we are closing basically. But before this basically we will write one thing basically, that is Bollywood industry, Bollywood groups basically, that is this group basically. So this group says that basically we are tracking everything basically, but see in environment basically it's not coming basically because lots of people says that basically ये जो picture the picture basically which we have created, we have fired the reel only basically. Then they thought that basically this type of incidents also basically can happen. So they basically created the human souls of the Bollywood. So one of the human souls is Sholay movie, Holiday movie. Like this basically many movies are basically there. So they have created the human souls only basically. So that basically they can keep the track basically. So this is also basically cleared. This is also basically we have cleared basically that these groups are basically creating this 40 shows. So these two are basically one chore basically you can say. And one of the person told also basically, one of the person basically told also basically. Who is that person? This is that person. And I have sent my resume to him also basically, but he has not given any response basically. So he has told also basically. That means he also know lots of things basically. So this is also closed, and this is also closed. This is also closed. This is also basically closed. This is also closed. ED department is what is ED department that basically we have discussed. That is also closed. This is also closed. This is also closed. So again back to this group basically, that is army group of the Hindustan and of the world basically. So this group basically say that basically हिंदुस्तान इनके बाप का है. That is this group, and this group basically. The topic basically we are discussing now basically. So India basically is telling that basically India means the group basically just now basically we have discussed that that group basically are telling that basically we are not going to give you job basically, we are not going to give you money basically. So that is this group basically, and this group basically is connected with this basically, and this also basically, and this is also basically there basically. And this is also basically there. Then one of the person told that basically whatever previously basically you had told that basically the things basically which are in front of the world basically, that is not basically. So this basically decision basically, that is the lava basically going to create in the human body basically, that decision basically was taken by some other group basically. These groups basically are just keeping the remember basically that lava creation basically has started in the human body basically. So mostly people says that basically in this and basically this group basically are involved because it's a digital world basically, and currently the war which is ongoing basically, that is digital war only basically. So this group has basically used These groups are telling that basically they have basically started the creation of lava basically inside the human bodies. So first they will be checking in their body basically. That is the this total employees in TCS, then total employees in Microsoft, then total employees in Infosys, then total employees in Capgemini, total employees in Cognizant, Concentrix also we can say, Cognizant also we can say, Cognizant also see. Then basically see Accenture also. So see basically highest is I think Accenture basically. Then Patani also you see. Or 23 international basically places are there basically. Then basically see Rishabh Software basically you see 1,000+ employees basically are there. See basically Rishabh is also basically big group basically. He basically started a software company just in front of me only basically with 15 employees. Now basically see that also basically. Then basically see numerator basically. Numerator spelling basically I think wrong. Numerator branch basically. Total employees in numerator. It's more than 2,000 basically. Then basically see Oracle also see. So it's more than 64,000. 6 lakh basically. I think only 1 lakh basically. Then basically see we will have the list here basically. NetApps is also there. So see basically lots of companies are basically there, but there is no job for Sunil Arna. So SAP also basically. So these are the software companies basically who are basically telling that basically there is no place for Sunil R. Nair basically in this world. So again back to this group basically. Because these groups are basically doing nothing basically. These groups are basically listening this group basically. That is army group of world basically and army group of this basically. Because these groups are giving data na basically. First of all, these basically software companies are basically doing what basically? These software companies are doing what basically? They are basically getting the data from the world and basically they are creating the software basically. Nothing else basically they are doing basically. They are doing nothing basically. So this owner basically is doing what basically? He basically has the data of First World War and Second World War basically. He also basically has the data of First World War and Second World War. He also basically has the data of First World War and Second World War. He also basically has the data of First World War and Second War. He also basically has the data of First World War and Second World War. So these groups are basically now connected with Sunil Larnair. So these groups are basically telling that basically Sunil Larnair basically we will not give you job basically. So one of the satellite group told that basically I can basically just create the cities and I can finish the city basically. I can do this much only basically. So what should basically satellite basically group basically can do basically. So one of the army group basically told that basically you are telling satellite group basically we also basically have satellite group basically in universe basically. So you are going to tell to which group basically that you tell basically. You are telling to which group basically that basically you are not getting job in the software company basically. I want to know basically. So that also you verify basically to which group basically I am telling basically that. So next video basically we are going to see that basically which group basically Sunil R. Nair is telling.